Greetings, CBC. Welcome to this week's Sunday warm-up. Couple of quick announcements this Sunday. We got a rather full Sunday. Right after second service, the food pantry will be operating. So if you're able to plan ahead, stick around and lend some assistance there. That's always much appreciated. And then this Sunday night is our annual baptism service. We'll be at West Ranch, roughly 4 to 5:30. Just if you want to come and hang out, just be a part of community, fellowship. No real structure to that. It's just coming and being together. And then 5:30, I'm going to get us started with. We'll have guitars and sing some worship songs. We'll share some scripture and just a little teaching about baptism to kind of prepare us all how we're going to do things. And then obviously pray, and we will head down to the lake together. A number of you signed up. A number of you have told me. Even if you haven't signed up, you haven't told me, and you're on that fence. And Sunday afternoon, you're like, man, I've just been lingering on this. Come. I would be glad to be a part of that, and honored to be a part of your baptism as you have this moment in your journey with Christ that I think is very, very unique and special. So inviting anyone from the church, if you've been baptized, you have no intention of being baptized, you already have, come and be a part and just support prayerfully and with your presence together. It'd be amazing just again fill up the beach like we did a few years ago, and as a public witness to our faith and love of Jesus. So hope you can be a part of that event with us. For this Sunday, we finish up the book of Proverbs. Last Sunday of the summer, and our last Sunday this summer in the book of Proverbs. We'll be in Proverbs chapter 31. Neat little shift here. Still the words of wisdom, still words of insight and instruction to a son. But as this last chapter of Proverbs offers us a unique perspective, and it's not a father to the son, it's a mother to a son. It's a mother to her son who's the king. It's a mother to a son, and the words that she gave to him that he's then sharing. So these are the words of King Lemuel, and sharing the oracle, the words of prophecy, the words of utterance, divine message of his mother to him. I would say it's kind of like that thing I say a lot is like, what do you bore people to tears with? Or what is our song? What is our song? What's on repeat constantly in our houses that we either directly or indirectly are saying to our children? And that's what he's received, and that's what he is sharing. So she gives words of, in context, words of insight and instruction of a mother to a son who's a leader, and she's challenging him about the kind of man that you're called to be, to live your divine calling and your purpose, the things you shouldn't do, the things that you should do. And so verses 1 to 9 really kind of focus around that. I love the way it begins with these questions like, what are you doing, my son? What are you doing, my son? Anyone who has had a son grow up in their midst has said that same thing. What are you doing, my son? And so she offers him things not to do and things that he should do, and he's sharing those words of wisdom that he learned from his mom. And then the latter part, we're going to handle it in two sections this week. The latter part is that fairly commonly known, the kind of the parable of the virtuous woman, the seeking a wife of excellence. And so we want to hear this certainly in context. It's a mother to a son, and I would say it's her heart's desire for her son to find a godly woman and wife of excellence in virtue and character. For us, it can speak broadly to what should be our prayers for our children. It's our prayers for our spouses or future spouses. It's a reminder not to settle, but to really seek a godly spouse. It first and foremost, though, needs to be a prayer and consideration for our own lives. As we read these words about a virtuous woman or virtuous wife, I would want to hear them and be prayerful about, am I living in an honorable, godly kind of way as a husband or a wife? And so I want to hear those challenges. I think she offered to her son, and that the Spirit of God continues to offer to us today, two biblical keys and challenges from the latter part of Proverbs 31 that I hope we'll talk about on Sunday. Try to find those for yourself, see what you can see, what I'm seeing in there. And then what's interesting is Proverbs ends right where we began. Find what I mean in Proverbs 31 verse 30 and in Proverbs chapter 1 verse 7. And then in addition to that, I think would be a real helpful part as we conclude Proverbs to bring in the wisdom of Ecclesiastes in chapter 12 verses 9 to 11. Ecclesiastes 12, 9 to 11, to hear his final conclusions as it relates to how we live, our purpose, our calling, and in living with godly wisdom. So Proverbs 31, really lean into that chapter. That's our main purpose on Sunday in the main text. We will remind ourselves of the bookends here of wisdom, Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7, and Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verses 9 to 11. All right, God bless you guys. Have a wonderful week. Looking forward, as always, to being with us on Sunday morning.